change, Joe. And oh, what happens when they do? Your heart, Joe. Your heart. It's a bird in the nest with its head beneath its wing, half
the Honors Convocation and Concerto Aria concert this evening. It's great to have you all here in attendance, and I hope you enjoyed the first half. Amazing performances and amazing talent. I'd like to thank the University Symphony Orchestra and Dr. Luis Mion for their performance. And I hope you also enjoyed the performances of two of our three Concerto Aria winners, Brian Tripper and Courtney Gamble, and Ingrid de Groot, who was our third winner. She performed earlier in the semester, so a nice job for those individuals. If you haven't already done so, feel free to read more about those students and their accomplishments in the program. I'd also like to introduce a special guest that we have here this evening, fantastic supporters of the arts and attenders of many of our concerts. Can't really do anything that we do without their support. That would be President Royce Engstrom and his wife Mary, and also the Provost Perry Brown. We would also like to welcome the Dean of the College of Visual and Performing Arts, Dr. Steve Keppel. I'm sorry, Dr. Steve Paul. Steve Keppel is a name I've read off many times, and it just sort of automatically goes right there. Also a great supporter of arts here at UM. But Dr. Collin, thank you for being here, and thank you for all of your work that you do to support music and all of the arts that we do here in the School of Music. I'd like to thank the Director of Arts Information, Peggy Nesbitt. Peggy, why don't you stand so we can recognize you? Our CVPA Financial Officer, Jill Johns. Jill here. We also have our box office manager, Abby Wyatt, and I don't believe Abby's here, is she? Okay, and then our director of development, Christian Goldstack. This has been a busy year in the School of Music. We've had a number of different events involving music majors, undergraduate, graduate. We also have a number of online students. We've been involved in performances and outreach activities, and those have included band, jazz band, choir, opera, keyboard, and orchestra tours, various festivals, faculty and guest artist series events, student ensemble series events, and those have been going on all week. This is sort of the end of the semester rush for concerts. The Buddy DeFranco Jazz Festival, fundraisers such as Pianissimo, the Celebrate Piano Series, Messiah Sing-Along, and the All-School Fusion and Odyssey of the Stars, and that's just a few of the events that we host here. This year we hosted All-Star High School Festivals where students are nominated to participate in choir, band, and orchestra, and that brought 400 students to campus. So great events and a lot going on. The UM students that are in the School of Music have traveled across the U.S. They've won national and international competitions and performed and presented at national conferences. For example, our Missoula Piano Trio won third place at the MTNA National Young Artist String Chamber Music Competition in San Antonio. Absolutely great work being done there and very prestigious, and they beat out some really high-powered groups in gaining that third place prize. We also had the Chamber Chorale, who was selected as a featured group at the ACDA Northwest Division Conference in Seattle. So congratulations. And among the students who are in these groups and performing in these wonderful events, many of them will graduate this next week at commencement and head off to graduate schools or teaching in the public schools and universities locally or abroad, as well as beginning professional careers. So some of them have exciting things on the horizon. these activities have been facilitated by dedicated staff and faculty here in the School of Music. There are 3 of our staff members that I'd like to recognize who do an important work for us and kind of keep things running. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and these 3 individuals make sure that it all happens effectively. That would be our business manager, Raylene Hicks, our office manager, Teresa Gray, and our promotions coordinator, Sherry Ferguson. Would you Thank you. And I'm also very proud of the talent and commitment and energy of our faculty. And they are very inspirational. They have done above and beyond their normal responsibilities to make sure that these students can succeed musically. And they are also creative, consummate artists on the national and international stage. They do tons of outreach in communities and also nationally. And so I'd like to ask all of my colleagues as faculty members of the School of Music to rise and be recognized. In this portion of the Honors Convocation, we're dealing with scholarships and the amazing help that we receive in the School of Music to help students succeed in their educations. This year, the School of Music gave a record $129,684 in scholarship support to new and returning students. So there's a significant amount of assistance that's available for students while they're here. I invite all of you to take a look at your programs and read through some of the descriptions of the various scholarships that are available and the stories behind them and what the donors were hoping to accomplish as they gave this money. It's through the generosity and efforts of donors that many of our students are able to attend the University of Montana. At this time, I'd like to recognize some of the donors, those who are in attendance. And when I call your name, I'd like you to rise so we can recognize you and the support that you've given us. Steve Armstrong and Linnea Gallardi. And as I go through the list, if we somehow missed somebody, if you snuck in and we didn't get you down as having come, I'm very sorry, but we appreciate everybody who's here, but I'll try and be as accurate as possible. Barbara Blagan. Dr. Deanne Burnell. Lance and Fern Boyd. Janet Boyer. Mr. and Mrs. James Karras. John Driscoll. Stephen Hessler and Gary Clark. Joanna Lester. Maura Payne. David Simmons. Virginia Vinyl. And Twyla Wolf. We really do appreciate your support and all that you do for our students here in the School of Music. Now at this time, I'd like to have all of the students who are receiving scholarships during the next academic year to please stand. very talented group of individuals. This year we're honored to present 4 new awards and scholarships which were made possible by extraordinary groups of individuals and families. I would like to welcome Christian Goldstag up to the front to tell us more about these new awards.
The connection between benefactor and scholarship recipient is really powerful, and as development officer for the College Division of Performing Arts, I'm so privileged to get to witness that every day, and especially tonight. So students, donors, families, friends, we are just so grateful for the part that you all play, and let's celebrate the transformative power of a music education. Now, since UM launched its Investing in Student Success initiative in July of 2013, UM Arts has received more than $2.5 million in gifts to fund student scholarships. Many of those are right here in the School of Music. Every single gift makes a difference, and every gift tells a story. These are the stories of the new scholarships that are awarded for the first time tonight. The Thomas Cole Armitage Scholarship is named for the grandfather of benefactor and School of Music alumna Florence Taj Armitage Adams Scholl. Florence was born in 1925 in Billings, a 5th-generation Montanan. She was the daughter of a public school teacher, Florence Armitage Adams, and legendary UM athlete and track coach, Harry F. Adams. Taj began playing piano at a young age. She was a champion youth tennis player, graduated from Missoula County High School. She earned a bachelor's degree in music from the University of Minnesota and a master's degree in music from UM. She became a respected and longtime piano teacher right here in Missoula. And in addition to Missoula, she lived in Illinois, New Jersey, New York, and Germany, where she studied piano with Walter Gieseking. Taj passed away in 2014, but she thoughtfully crafted her estate plans to fund a scholarship for outstanding students in the keyboard area who experience financial need. So tonight, we are grateful and honored to celebrate her life and this new scholarship. Steve Armstrong graduated from UM in 1973 with a degree in history and political science, and he performed in virtually every performance ensemble at UM during those years. He developed a lifelong friendship with many of his fellow performers. He always felt that the fine arts and music were the glue that held things together and really made his experience rewarding. Linnea Gilardi came to UM to complete her requirements for a Montana Teachers and Administrators Certificate, and so we're proud to claim her as one of our alumni. After Steve and Linnea were married in 1981, Linnea got to know more about the role of music in Steve's life and the importance that the university played. And while he was playing with a number of groups in Helena, Linnea would sit behind the trombones, and sometimes she would dance with the old-timers who would invite her to do so. She was a proud groupie for the Helena Big Band, the Merlin Combo, the Blackie Nelson Group, the Helena Symphony, and all the others that Steve has played with. The Alumni Marching Band is another venue for Steve and Linnea's continued enjoyment and appreciation of the UM community. While returning to campus during homecoming, Steve and Linnea began to think about creating a scholarship for music students. And they wanted the scholarship to reflect their interest in percussion, and with the excellent percussion legacy at UM and Steve's participation in the Alumni Marching Band, they aimed to add to that legacy. Now, Steve and Linnea have placed UM in their estate plan with a gift that will support music students for many, many years to come. Forever, in fact. Now, not content to wait, they have also given generously to start awarding the scholarship right now, while they are young enough to enjoy it. So, Steve and Linnea are here with us tonight, and I just want to say thank you so much for this extraordinary work. Our next new scholarship is a story of two sisters, two paths, and a shared passion for music. Janet Boyer and Candice Boyer both studied music growing up in Missoula and as students at UM. They were encouraged by their mother Marion and were under the direction of great teachers like John Lester, Eugene Andre, they worked with Bo Brown and others. Music was a constant in their lives. Janet played leading roles in several operas and performed at the Big Fork Summer Theater before graduating from UM, and then she moved to Washington, D.C. Her husband was appointed to the U.S. Army Band. As soon as she got there, she began auditioning immediately. And she was chosen to perform with the Washington Opera as a soloist with the Choral Arts Society, the Washington Hebrew Congregation, and the Wolf Trap Foundation for the Performing Arts. Janet was selected to go to Tanglewood for the Music Theaters Project, and she sang in the Bernstein Mass, which was commissioned for the opening of the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. She went on a tour with that production and performed at the Metropolitan Opera for 4 weeks. Now, she took a 10-year hiatus to raise her children, and then she returned to singing, joining the Lyric Opera of Chicago and spending 14 years with the Chicago Symphony, the Grant Park Symphony, and the Chicago Opera Theater. Really extraordinary career. Now, like her sisters, Candice began music lessons as a child, and she studied piano, violin, and voice before she came to UM. Here she was a voice major with a violin minor. She had numerous violin and vocal solos throughout high school and here. And she also participated in the symphony, the string quartets, opera workshop, and other musical activities. Janet and Candice's paths diverged when their mother lost her 14-year battle with cancer, and Candice, who was still living at home, really struggled to cope with the loss. She says that when she went to go live with her father and stepmother in Chicago, she gave them a quick education in the life of a teenager who was lost and grieving, confused and rebellious. And so he sent Candice to live with her sister in Billings, where she completed a year at Rocky Mountain College before returning to UM to finish her degree in music education. Now, Candice says she has very few regrets, but the one regret that stands out is that she was unable to perform professionally and pursue her love of music in a professional way. So through this very special scholarship, Candice and Janet are united in helping a student now pursue their dream. So Candice isn't here with us tonight, but Janet is, and I just want to say thank you for this wonderful. Our final award is the Ivan Morrison Scholarship in the Arts. Ivan Morrison grew up in Wisconsin. He received an undergraduate degree in art and served in the Marine Corps before the mountains beckoned him to Montana. He earned his MFA in Fine Arts from UM in 1967. Here he was influenced by wonderful professors like Rudy Audio, Don Bunsey, Walter Hook, and James Dew. He went on to a very successful career as a visual artist, and his work can be seen in diverse venues. And he has this striking, massive sculpture that is part of the TriMet Public Art exhibit in Portland, Oregon. He has pieces in the permanent collection of the Coos Bay Art Museum. In addition to the visual arts, though, music has also been just a very rich and rewarding part of Ivan's life. He plays and composes music to this day. So inspired by his faith and by a lifelong passion for social justice, he created the Ivan Morrison Scholarship in the Arts. It's a permanent endowed scholarship which benefits students who demonstrate financial need as they pursue an education in art, music, or theater and dance. And it's awarded to the School of Music every third year. It rotates among the disciplines that have enriched his life. So it's awarded tonight for the very first time in the School of Music. And though Ivan and his wife Mary could not join us, we thank them for this inspiring gift. That every scholarship does have a story, and those stories don't end here. We're going to go on and on as these stories continue to be written by the students who receive those scholarships and the lives that they touch as their own stories unfold. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Christian. Before we get into some of the scholarships that we will announce tonight, there is a music fraternity that we recognize each year, the Pi Kappa Lambda fraternity. And the information on this is each year faculty members of Pi Kappa Lambda, a National Honor Society for Music, select one graduating senior and one graduate student for membership in Pi Kappa Lambda. Candidates exhibit a high GPA, outstanding scholarship, and musicianship. So this year our inductees are Natalie Law and Megan McKeever. And if you can UM Music Scholarships are awarded in a number of different ways. Some of them are awarded through special committees or within a given area, and students are sometimes notified as the award is made and they're given notice of their financial aid package. But other ones are taken care of through a special process. And so there's some that I'm pleased to announce tonight who the students, which awards that the students have not yet heard about. And so with these students, please stand when I call their names, and some of you will have certificates, I'll let you know. I'm new to this, it's my first time. I tried to pass this back to Maxine, she said no. Looks like we do have certificates, so you can come up when you're announced. There's 2 permanent endowments that are significant and have been established for outstanding students in the voice area. And they're determined by a vote of the voice faculty. The Esther England Excellence in Voice Scholarship was created by former students, friends, and family in honor of Esther, who served on the voice area faculty for 36 years here at UM. And this year it is awarded to Holly Jacobs. This next award, although it doesn't show up in the program as an announced award because we knew the student is currently performing and was not able to be here, we still wanted to make sure it was announced because it's a significant award and it really means a lot to us here at the School of Music and to the voice area. The Twyla Fleckton Wolf Voice Scholarship, which was awarded for the first time last year, was created by Miss Wolf with an extraordinary investment of more than $100,000. The recipient of this prestigious award tonight is Travis Kean. And as I mentioned, he is at Missoula Children's Theater performing in Mary Poppins tonight. So couldn't be here because he's doing music stuff. Our next award for the voice area is the Caps Rickard Singer of the Year Award. And this is given to an outstanding vocal student based on a year-long selection process that culminated in a performance held in April in the Music Recital Hall. Finalists were chosen based on scholarship, artistry, and outstanding citizenship and contributions to the School of Music. Doctors Kathy Capps and Tom Rickard have generously made this $2,000 award possible. And this year's winner of the Singer of the Year is Hannah Bondurant. The R. Richard Riddle Memorial Scholarship goes to a deserving composition student who was selected as a result of a competition that took place as part of our Composer Showcase earlier this semester, just a few weeks ago in fact. This year's winner is Andrew Holtz for his composition titled Urban Facade No. 2. And finally, there are several students who have been selected for special recognition with scholarships that are determined by a vote of the full faculty. We nominate individuals from the various areas, we hear about the wonderful things that they do, and then we vote to determine the winner of these scholarships. The names have been held in confidence since we did the nomination and voting process, and so most of you, as you hear their names announced, will be as surprised as the students will be to hear them announced at this time. So make a special effort to extend your personal congratulations as you see these students, because they really have done amazing things, and it'd be great if we could give them all a scholarship, but we had to pick and choose. So before we get into the larger ones, I want to mention two that we voted on that Christian just talked about, the Morrison and the Armstrong-Ghilardi Awards. And since you've already heard a little bit about the inception of the award and what it's all about, I'll skip that portion and just give you the name. For the $1,000 Ivan Morrison Award, it goes to Kiara Nelson. And for the Armstrong Ghilardi Scholarship to recognize a percussionist, which is one of their first stipulations, we selected one of our top percussion students who has done so many great things in the short time he's been here, and that's Hayden Halstead. The Simmons family established the Don Simmons Music Education Scholarship and also the Marilyn Rice Life is Good Piano Scholarship. And these scholarships honor, the first one, the Simmons Music Education Scholarship, honors the memory of Donald Simmons, who was a former faculty member, Department of Music Chair, and Associate Dean of the School of Fine Arts. 2 awards of $3,150 each provide significant assistance to a rising junior and a rising senior in the music education program. And in what's become a tradition here at the Honors Convocation, the family of Don Simmons and his wife Pat join us to present these special awards. This year their son, a UM Music alumnus, David Simmons, is with us to announce the winners of the Don Simmons Music Education Scholarships, and he will also announce the winner of the Marilyn Rice Life is Good Piano Scholarship, which is a special award that he created to honor his late wife and which benefits an outstanding pianist. So at this time, David, if you would come forward.
A big mistake, Kevin said you don't have to read what's written there, so sit back. Never tell a performer they can go off script. So yeah, I'm the Simmons to be named later. The famous one is making a movie in Boston. The smart one is finishing up chemo in Seattle. She's doing great, and she's getting very healthy, so I'm here. And the Extendo Simmonses here, who are here to help support. They asked what I'm doing now, and there is an impolite term for what my job is, but I am, in baseball terms, sort of a utility infielder. So all of you music majors, in 1983 I graduated with a degree in voice, barely with honors. I almost destroyed Stephen Hessla and Dennis Alexander getting my piano functional done. So I left here as a New England student, as was my brother, and I began my career as a music director for the Missoula Children's Theater, opera singer, and arts education actor. After almost 40 years, I am now playing bass in classic rock tribute bands. And one thing I want to say, as music education goes deep in my blood, what you choose to do with your degree, once you know lots of cool stuff, keep your mind open to anything. Because I started out thinking, I'm going to be a singer and an actor, and then I was a director, and then I was a writer, and then I was a composer. Thank you, Lance Boyd, for all the work I did in Jazz Workshop. You're part of the reason I'm making a living as a songwriter. Suddenly I'm a pop songwriter too. So, who knew? So keep your dreams alive, never give up. Life is a series of second chances, or as my brother would say, keep goings. So, my job tonight is to read this page and not cry. We'll see how far I get. Oh, it's not starting off well. The Marilyn Rice Life is Good Scholarship is awarded to an individual who demonstrates promise as a collaborative pianist and who exhibits strong work ethic. This year's recipient is a highly motivated pianist who can regularly be found in the music building at 5 a.m., usually the time I was headed home from a party. Parked in front of his favorite practice room, never saw one of those. I practiced a lot. Working through some of the most challenging works of the piano literature. He was a finalist in this year's Concerto Aria competition, performing Rachmaninoff's first piano concerto. You know who it is, don't you? I would be remiss if I didn't say my sister loves the Peanut Gallery here. You guys are so supportive of each other. You completely rock this town. Accompanies various voice studios in the School of Music, playing for juries, Uter performances, and junior and senior recitals. He is a regular performer in the keyboard division's pianissimo concerts and in various other concerts throughout the year. An active member of the Keyboard Society, this student has attended MTNA national conferences for the past 2 years. In June, he will serve as a Piano Camp counselor for the 3rd year in a row. For his positive spirit, I will get through this, but very quickly I'll say something I think is funny, and please laugh when I'm done. When I first talked to Christian about creating this scholarship, I said, I basically want to give them enough money for pizza and beer and cover their books. I sure hope it at least does that. For his positive spirit, love of music, commitment to musical and personal growth, and its desire to make the keyboard division the best it can be, the keyboard faculty is selected from Arley, Montana, Go Mission Valley. This year's recipient of the Marilyn Rice Life is Good, Take a Bite Out of the Ass of Life Scholarship is Luke Larson. My first scholarship was $25 and it covered my voice lessons for a year. I'm old. The Don Simmons Music Education Scholarship is awarded each year to 1 junior and 1 senior music education student. These students are selected by a vote from the School of Music faculty. The criteria for this scholarship specify that the recipients be evaluated on academic merit and that they be outstanding music education students. This year's junior recipient demonstrates outstanding personal and musical traits. He always does more than is expected and has a drive to learn everything he can from every group he performs with. He takes the time to explore and remember anything. Yeah, it isn't working again. Somebody just laugh. And remember anything that will help him be a better musician in the future. When he is back home during breaks, he uses what he has learned here to help music students in his hometown. He is humble and friendly and truly cares about what he is learning and how he can help others. He has performed with the Chamber Chorale, Women's Choir, Symphonic Wind Ensemble, and Grizzly Marching Band. The junior recipient of the Don Simmons Music Education Scholarship is from Chinook, Montana, and was last year's winner of the Marilyn Rice Award, Scotty Hamilton. I've actually met. This year's senior recipient has developed into one of the School of Music's most valued students. She has developed into a fine musician, but more importantly, has demonstrated some truly exceptional teaching skills. She works extremely hard, sets a great example to those around her, and can be depended upon to accomplish all her tasks in a professional manner. The student not only demonstrates musical skill, but has also developed many of the characteristics needed to be a quality educator. I'm going off script. These qualities include working through sleep deprivation, using half your paycheck to cover schoolroom supplies, and smiling gracefully when someone says, "Oh, you're a teacher. I bet you love having your summers off." Any teacher really ever had their summer off? She has a bright future and will bring honor to the reputation of U of M School of Music. As an active music student, she has performed with the choirs, concert band, jazz band, Grizzly Marching Band, orchestra, and symphonic wind ensemble. She has served as the president of the National Association for Music Education College Chapter, Grizzly Marching Band section leader, and you know, don't you? And was just selected as one of the 2016 Grizzly Marching Band drum majors. The senior, I love you guys. Let's put you in my pocket, you know. The senior recipient of the Don Simmons Music Education Scholarship is from Dillon, Montana, Christian Cotter.
Now I feel like I have to be funnier. Our next scholarship is the Rachel Sprunk Smith Scholarship, and it's an award which rotates among the schools of the College of Visual and Performing Arts. And it's in honor of the deep interest that Rachel Sprunk Smith had in all of the disciplines of UM Arts during her lifetime. The award is given to an outstanding student in music every other year, and this year it's a $4,000 award. The Rachel Sprunk Smith Scholarship winner is Alexis Carrier. And as I said before, I wish that we had some kind of a transcript of all of the things that were said by faculty members of every nominee, not just the winners, but of every nominee. You'd be amazed at what was said in these faculty meetings. It's really uplifting to be part of that process. Our next one, the Candy Paris Honor Scholarship, is an award made possible through the establishment of a generous endowment by the Paris family. For the 2016-2017 academic year, the $4,000 award goes to a violin performance major, Sarah Harmsworth. And I want to add that Sarah was one of the piano trio that won in San Antonio, Texas, the third place award. So. And finally, we have the Presser Scholar, which is our largest award that we offer at this convocation. It's $4,800 for the coming school year. This designation denotes outstanding achievement as a music student in the School of Music. The recipient is selected by a vote of the full music faculty, and the certificate is signed by President Engstrom. This year's recipient is majoring in percussion performance and psychology. It's Emily Silks. We appreciate your attendance here tonight at the convocation. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, donors, for your support, and also all of the administrators and faculty and staff for everything that you do. Please join us now in the Dennison Theater's Rotunda as we have a reception with treats and coffee, and you can mingle and meet the donors and scholarship winners. Thank you.